Hi, Lynn Tucker Carnivore here, and I thought it would be a good idea to give you an idea of kind of my food history. When I was younger, super thin. Of course, weren't we able to go riding our bikes everywhere and playing ditch and kick the can until the street lights went out and then we went home? Yeah, we had a lot more exercise back then than, sitting in front of our phones. So I was thin. At school, we had a thing in home ec where we had to figure out how many calories we ate a day. So I pretty much lowered it as best I could, I thought, and come to find out that was 4,000 calories a day. I know. So that was my history. Then, when I was 19, we moved from Minnesota to California, and there was a pool involved. I don't know if you've seen scenes from The Graduate, but it was very much like that, where you just sit around and really enjoy the fact that there's sunshine finally. So that and mom's spaghetti, 2, 3 helpings, whatever you wanted to eat, snack, soda, whatever. That went from 102 to 125. That went from size 3 junior pants to size 9. So along came the Atkins diet, or so I thought. All I really knew, it was just low carb, 60 or less. And to me, that was like real sacrifice. And so I did it. I pretty much lived on cottage cheese and canned tuna combination all the time for a month and a half. I don't think that's really smart either, but it did allow me to lose 15 pounds in that month and a half. Also, kind of get a little bit of hypoglycemia going there too. Maybe it was there all the time, maybe it just surfaced, I don't know. But whenever I didn't have enough food, it was like, Blart in that movie about the mall cop, where I would just, like a toy that ran out of battery. So that was my history. Then got into an adult stage, thought, we better find a boyfriend. So I wanted to go out, run, and do all the things that would make me healthy looking. And, of course, alcohol was involved too. Not to any great extent, but enough to give you the sugars that you didn't need. And then I thought perhaps a all angel hair pasta and tomato sauce diet was a good idea. No, I ended up with a cholesterol of 127, to which a friend of mine who was into PC95, which was a grapeseed extract antioxidant, very good at the time, he's like, Lynn, that's a carcinogenic level. You need to up your cholesterol, which now we find out he's right. So that combined with, a popcorn diet too. I just ate aired popcorn pretty much all the time for like a week and see what that did. Well, about that time, we went to a naturalist doctor because my mother and I wanted my father to get rid of the smoking of his cigarettes, and we all wanted to get a little healthier. We heard about this doctor from a friend of ours, and so we went to him, and he was the all protein shake, dark leafy greens for a week, no dressing, no butter, no bread, no anything but these protein shakes, and every dark green you could think of. And so I developed, after like the third day, a need so great for bread and butter that I bought a jigsaw puzzle just so I could, be near it again. And I told him I have to have something of bulk. This is crazy. And he said, and I said, can I have some popcorn? And he's like, well, that's not really good. It's not really bad for you. It's kind of like eating cardboard, but I guess go ahead. So I at least did that. Now, that kind of worked, which I'm thinking it's kind of like the vegan experiment, in that you do get a bit healthier. And then I ate some ice cream, chocolate ice cream after that, and it tasted like wax. So I went, maybe there's something to this. Oh yeah, and we had lemon water every morning too, to detoxify your system, which, does have merit, but limited, as we find out now. Anyway, so that happened. Then adulthood and my Italian restaurant. We had 10-pound bars of chocolate, dark and white, delivered weekly to make our homemade desserts with. One of which was a absolutely phenomenal, it was a chocolate mousse rum cake. How you make that? You soak the pound cake in espresso and rum, and then you take cheesecake and line a circular bowl with it, and then you line all that soaked pound cake, and then you put chocolate mousse on the inside of that, and then you chill that in the refrigerator, and then afterwards you upside down it, take off the cheesecloth, and pour dark chocolate all over the top. That and the absolutely deliciously outstanding medium shell pasta with an Alfredo type sauce made with gorgonzola cheese and chopped fresh basil. Oh my! So many good recipes. We had salmon and poached salmon and cucumber and dill sauce, veal chop in white wine and sautéed in white wine and sage, charbroiled veal chops. I mean, you name it. It was incredible. And even our fettuccine dish had 2/3 of a stick of butter in it. I know, it was fabulous. So we had our bread, which was a slice of bread that could be sourdough, could be French. And you put your garlic butter, and then you put shredded mozzarella, and then you put Romano or Parmesan on top of that, and then put it into a broiler, and you make like, in essence, little mini pizzas. It was so good. And all the fresh tomato sauce that we made, but of course we used, some sugar and some chopped carrot to cut down the acidity of it. And we did the osso buco, changing it, turning it every 20 minutes for like hours. And all this really good food. And I did gain weight, not a lot, because I was working my butt off because we hardly had a moment to ourselves. And that's how, owning your own business goes. But it was a lot of pasta that I dearly loved. And so there's that section. Then, fast forward to eating crappy while a legal secretary, and then fast forward to working on that TV shopping channel. See, I can hardly say it because those days were interesting. They were overnight hours that were completely irregular. It's not like I was a nurse or I was someone that worked overnight shift with a specific date and, schedule. It was 9 to 3 a.m. one day, then 4 a.m. to 7 a.m. another day, then 10 to 1 another day, and then, mandatory meetings at 9 o'clock in the morning after you went to sleep at 5. So eating was horrible because you were so sleep deprived. It is a bona fide torture. And cereal is all you could put down. All I could keep down was Cheerios. And then when I'm at work, Boosts and Sure, they told us they were good for us. They had all the vitamins in them and the minerals that you could possibly need. Meanwhile, body was shrinking, energy was shrinking. Middle of the night brain, you talk about brain fog. Tell everybody about the different colors of the floral design in this gorgeous quilt. And you're looking at the stem that's green and you say pink. And then try to figure out in your brain how you're going to get out of that and saying what you said that was so totally incorrect and still looking like you were someone that was smart. It was really, really hard to do that. And then on the drive home, of course, you would see rodents in the street and veer away from them because you didn't want to hit them, and it was a leaf on the road. Extremely dangerous conditions to live under, and then try to have a baby, and you're 43. A lot of people didn't realize the fact that I was the second oldest to Kathy Levin. And she was the oldest woman. And we had gotten married the first time, same year, the whole thing. And I'm working these shifts that are killing me, still looking perky and happy the whole time. And I even worked one time when I had 103.5 temperature. I had to squat down on the floor in between commercials. And Susan Graver was a little worried about me, but I went, no problem. I had a miscarriage on air, and I was more worried about, was I going to damage some of the clothes that I had on? I mean, stupid stuff, because you're so dedicated to what you do, because that's how you were taught to be. Dedicated, energetic, give it your all, be there when they need you, that kind of a personality. It was a tough time. And certainly to try to have children at that time was crazy. I tried every month as best we could as far as assisted help from a fertility specialist. And each time it didn't. By the 12th month, when your fertility doctor hugs you, that's the kiss of death. And I just went, well, it's just not in the cards. However, the lady that was the little show host for the Pilates was 43 at the same time too, and she was getting pregnant. And then I said to my fertility doctor, I've seen Cheryl Tiegs without makeup, and let me just tell you, I look younger than she does. What is going on? And he said 2 words, donor eggs. And I went, oh, no, they do that? It's like, Lynn. And then he also told me, as you get older, your eggs not only diminish in numbers, but they get harder. So, it makes sense. We were created pretty incredibly. So it's harder for a sperm to penetrate an egg to begin with, because it's just not something that's conducive to making a healthy child. And you just have to realize that at sometimes. So Dr. Kiltz, where were you when I needed the carnivore diet? And think of all the energy I would have had to do all those overnights. Think of, I wouldn't have had to have eaten, because you get there at 9 o'clock. Maybe you had something to eat at 8 p.m., right? Put your makeup on, or you have it done for you eventually toward the end there. And then you're meeting with vendors, and then you go on air at midnight, and you're kicking off a special value, and they want you to sell 20% of that. And there's the pressure there. The people that are the vendors are thinking to themselves, I've got my kids' college fund connected to whether or not this is successful. And what does that do for stress and fight or flight syndrome for a person that's the host that really cares instead of just wings it, So then you're doing that, and then you get off work at around 3. You might answer some emails just to wind down when you're in the host lounge, and then you get home at, say, 4:30 or 5, and you have a bowl of cereal, and you try to go to bed, and like I said before, you get a mandatory meeting at 9 a.m. that you have to be there for and look presentable. It was tough, you guys. And if you didn't have the seniority, because no one left at the top, you were left at the bottom. Unless it was real high revenue days that they knew they needed you for, then you're in the daytime living like a normal human being. So there's that, and then you finally get out of that, and you finally start getting sleep. Like Dr. Barry says, if you can get out of the overnights, please do it for the health of your system. And I tried to do what I could to find something that I could do, and it turned out that vendors came to us because we had helped one guy with a video that he needed done of just how his product worked. He liked what we did so much that he paid us even extra from what we were asking him for, which was minimal. And that started us off, launching us into Jim, Ribeye Ranger, doing videos that had no audio and lasted only 45 seconds. And in that time frame, you were to show almost every use you could possibly use the item for, and put it in hands of people that were young and middle-aged and old, and have those old people look old but not too distractingly old, and the young people young but still look like they were smart enough to use the product. It was very difficult, and especially finding backgrounds that were appropriate, clean, and really showed off the whole scene well, as if you bought that product and every part of your life, whether it's with your children or your parents or you, was wonderful because of the product. Not asking much, but we did a really good job, I think. And people kept coming to us and coming to us. And finally, we got really big names that we were doing videos for. And that was great, except like Carrie and Adam, Jim and I, we were it until we could finally afford to have someone as a production assistant help us with all that equipment, lugging it all over the place. Luckily, we didn't have to do much audio like Adam and Carrie have to do, but the amount of different locations, and then to have the right flooring for the vacuums that we did, showing how it goes from a shag carpeting to a bare floor or a tile, and then getting the stairs. And, you know, there's a lot of houses in California that have those lights or those windows at the top of the staircase, and light shines down onto the carpeting. Try to get that shot at the perfect time of day before the sunlight hits it. And you're at another house, you know, 2 or 3 blocks away. And try to line up all those people and line up the talent that could do all those things. And luckily, it was an interesting combination of, thank goodness those people had maids, and thank goodness many of them didn't have children, so that the baseboards of their flooring looked pristine, and we got the shots we needed. It was outdoor getting shots with beautiful flowers and things, hoping that everybody, you know, had a nice location for us to shoot pretty solar fountains in, and then carrying the water and the fountain, putting it into a spot, putting the water in, having the fountain get there, and then doing that, and then going down the block and doing it all over again to another location, showing people how easy it would fit in their backyards. That was a tough one too. And one time we even made fake snow in August so that we could do a Christmas product effectively. It was fun and also very demanding. So to come to another state, be relaxed, be retired, and to actually start taking better care of our health. This was something that we were really excited to do. And thanks to Carnivore, thanks to Carrie Mann and Homestead How for that beginning 30-day video, and then Dr. Barry for all the hours of education and good information and positive results from other people that just warm your heart, that they're healing the way they are. How do you not, even if you're a thin person, as I was, how do you not want to do that for your own self? How do you not want to disengage from the medical system that you know more than they do now? It's true. It's sad. You heard the story of my dear friend that's a nephrologist. I tell them to eat healthy. They don't know how to do that. I didn't know how to do that. Did you know how to do that before Homestead How, before Dr. Barry, Dr. Chafee, Dr. Baker, Dr. Hampton, Dr. Ovadia, Kiltz, the list goes on, and Dr. Westman, Dr. Wiederman, Dr. Eid, Dr. Oh my gosh, they just keep coming. There's so many good sources of information, and we know more now. So why are we still listening? Why aren't we doing things for ourselves? Why aren't we taking the ball and running with it? Why are we running around, as I told Carrie too, with 10 pounds as an extra bowling ball that you're carrying everywhere with you? Try to do that with just a sack of flour. Remember that from an old Frasier episode when Niles thought that he was going to try to become a father and see what it felt like, and he took a sack of flour around with him? And it was a disaster. So imagine walking around with 4, 5, 6, 10 bowling balls tied to you. No wonder you're tired. Do something for yourself. Get healthy. It's not that hard. Once you commit to it and you get stuff out of your pantry and you get stuff out of your refrigerator that's going to tempt you, and you make some bacon ahead of time and you have it in little baggies in the refrigerator, you bring it along with you if you're going on a vacation or a drive, or you're just out shopping and you don't want to get hungry and buy something stupid. And if you're hung up on sodas, do what Dr. Barry and Todd say. Get that mineral water. add more mineral water, add less of the soda, and then eventually wean yourself off of it. You'll be surprised how many things you were addicted to that you're not addicted to any longer, that you just kind of fade gently into not wanting to do anymore, which to me, I mean, you know that our Creator created us to eat a certain way when you look at our ancestral past and how we ate. If we found berries on the roadways, yeah, we probably knew more about which ones were good and which ones were bad. We probably used them as survival food. We probably only ate them when they were seasonally there. We didn't have all the access that we have now to a plethora, a smorgasbord of different foods. Food was not so much entertainment as it was sustenance. You know, food is not love, you guys. I know that mom and grandma tried so hard to show you their love through their food. Kids that are people that you work with, they want to show you how much they care about you by making you that birthday cake, but it's not doing any of us any good. It's not entertainment, it's fuel. And I know it sucks and it's boring to not have it be entertainment or socializing or any of the fun things that they made it into. And why did they do that? So we would take their pills. If you look at it the opposite way, like, did anybody see the interview with Dr. Chafee and the magician friend of his? He, in order to be a good magician, has to rethink the situation or the event that he's creating backwards so that he understands where a person will look or a person would be attracted to, so he can do the distractive move when you're not looking. And it seems like a wonderful magic trick. Well, that's what you have to do with eating better. You have to reverse it. You have to gently and make it a priority to not have food be your anything but fuel. Think of it as fuel, good, healthy, feeding your system, nutritiously wonderful beef, butter, bacon, and eggs, a little bit of cottage cheese, maybe a little bit of hard cheese. Don't do the shredded or the sliced because it's got that powder on it that doesn't make them stick together. Try it. It's the ultimate elimination diet. It's the ultimate way to customize what you consume to know exactly what's good for only you. How wonderful is that? You think the people that make, everything in boxes and bags, do you think they think about how customized it is to you? No. They hire scientists to specifically have a job to make you or make it true. That little line, I bet you can't eat just one. No, you can't. And they make sure of it. And so you get sick. Slowly, slowly, they poison you. Plants are trying to kill you. And apparently, a few of non-carnivore doctors are doing the same. So take back your health. Take back your captainship of your ship and make good decisions and eat the right way. Yeah, it might be boring at the beginning, although watch and wonder at how delicious a steak can be, or even ground beef can be, how comfort food eggs and bacon in the morning are. And then how much better you think, how much more you do, how much better you feel, how much more happy you are around other people. And then have them look at that and go, wait a minute, what are you doing? That's different from me because I feel like crap. That's how you get it. And you also say, when somebody asks you, how are you feeling? I'm better than I ever could dream of being. Then, of course, they ask, how did you do that? And you're in. You can tell them about the carnivore diet at that point. And then they'll say, what do you eat? Another opportunity to let you know that it's not hard to do. And you did it. And you lost X number of pounds, or you gained this much of a wonderful blood panel from what you used to have. I'm telling you, it's the way to go. plant those carnivore seeds, everyone, and I will see you on our next video.